Greetings, everyone. Joe Davis here from National University. Wanted to provide you an opportunity to review your skills for the use of the online library here at the university. This is really important stuff. Scholarly library research is the foundation of undergraduate and graduate degrees. It's also the foundation for building your critical thinking skills. So the librarian, whom we only now meet online, generally speaking, unless you're in La Jolla, should be your best friend. Librarians, no matter where they work and what they do, that's why they chose to be librarians. They enjoy researching and helping people. And so here's the contact information, so that if you were to send an email to referencedesk@nu.edu and say, hi, I'm in PAD 626 or CJA 444 or whatever it is, and I'm doing a paper on fill in the blank, police officer motivation, public employee retention, they can help you find the sources. They'll work with you by text. You can call them directly or use the 800 number so it's toll free, or you can use the link to the library, library.nu.edu, which is what we are going to do one slide after this. Here are the library hours. Make sure you check and see that they are still valid, or if there are holidays involved. They're pretty extensive, not expensive. There is no charge to use the library, and I just encourage you to use it, take advantage of it, and I think you'll find a big difference in the quality of your work and the way you look at issues, research, and analysis. Okay, let's take a look at how we access the library from the course shell. This happens to be PAD 626, part of the MPA program. So if we go to week number 1 and we look for the assignments that are there, at the very bottom of this page it says there is a week 1 assignment, and here's the link at the very bottom of the page for the library. Now, in the previous slide I gave you library.nu.edu. You can also find it from here. All right, here is your basic library page, and we've already covered the contact hours and the telephone numbers, but there they are listed again. In this case, the 2015 holidays are listed so that you can plan your schedule to work around it. First thing I'd like to do is go right here to where it says Find Articles. And if we click on Find Articles, one of the difficult topics or things to talk about is the difference between scholarly or academic research and peer-reviewed articles, journals, versus popular articles. So if we come to this page, before we even start looking for something, right here in the middle towards the top, it says how to find scholarly peer-reviewed articles. And so when we open that up, we see a little glossary here of terms, of definitions. What is peer-reviewed? So here's a guide to help you, to give you a visual look at it, to try and help you understand and explain what the key issues are. Okay, as I was saying, this is a visual look at it. So when we look here on the left side, what are popular magazines and newspapers? And the answer is no, we're not going to use these. So you see, even things like Newsweek and Business Week, sources like that. Trade journals. I think sometimes I'll even mention these in class. These are not always considered peer-reviewed or scholarly. They do serve a purpose. You can use them to start or support, those kinds of things, but they're not the single basis. Now we get over here to scholarly journals. American Journal of Psychology. Okay, there's Academy of Criminal Justice Journal, things like that. So that gives you some ideas of what's out there. Let's see if I can get us back. All right, here's a very brief glossary of terms. Academic refers to the audience of a publication. Scholarly refers to the audience. So we're not writing these papers, doing this research for mass consumption. We're writing for criminal justice professionals and other academics. A refereed article is one that has been monitored prior to publication, and a peer review article is blind reviewed by scholars and experts. And so that means, as you'll see in this little slide, this little presentation video link, that means scholars look at it before it's published. All right, here's actually a very nicely done 2.5-minute tape that hopefully will play correctly for you. But it goes through in very simple, kind of corny, but very simple explanation of the two.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's matchup between scholarly articles and popular articles.
Have you had an assignment that required you to cite academic or scholarly articles? If not, you will at some point. Scholarly articles are a crucial component to research and writing at the university level. That is because scholarly articles are written by experts in their field. Popular articles, on the other hand, are written by journalists. Round 1 goes to scholarly articles! While scholarly articles contain original research, popular articles are usually about current events or report on the research done by experts. Round 2 goes to scholarly articles! Scholarly articles are text-heavy, contain few images, usually charts and graphs, and always cite their sources. They also contain special sections such as abstract, introduction, methodology, discussion, and references. Popular articles often feature images or even advertisements and rarely cite any sources. Round 3 goes to scholarly articles! The language of scholarly articles is formal and contains terms specific to the field. Popular articles are written for a broad audience, so are less formal and contain simpler language. Round 4 goes to scholarly articles! Before they're published, scholarly articles go through a peer review process in which other experts read the article to ensure that it's of high quality. Popular articles do not go through a peer review process, but our editor looks at it if that helps. Round 5 goes to scholarly articles!
These scholarly peer-reviewed articles can be found in any of the library's many databases. Just look for terms such as scholarly, peer-reviewed, or refereed in the search options or an article's information. Need more help on this? Contact the library in person, on the phone, or by email.
Popular articles, you may be popular, but when it comes to students and their research, you're KO'd. Scholarly articles, you're the clear winner.
Okay, hopefully that helped you a little bit to get an idea. I will also have this link available to you so that you had an overview now of the difference between scholarly and popular articles. I think the last thing that I want to offer you here is over on the right-hand side. It says Verify Peer Review. And this is a PDF document, and it explains for you the differences, the clues, the things you should look at and be able to tell. In a moment we'll look up a particular article or a particular topic and you'll see this. But it explains what the abstract should include and what the articles should be and all those sorts of things. So it's a good reference for you. All right, so let's go back, and if we go back one more screen, now we're ready to where it says Get Started with Smart Search. Take a moment to read through all of these things, but bottom line, what you're going to do is go right here to the middle, and that's your search engine box. And you, for right now, you're going to search everything. So as an example, since I used the PAD 626, students are required to identify a public administration, public personnel policy issue, and some wanted to talk about employee retention. And so we can look that up, and as you can see, I've already searched for public employee retention, and let's see what it gets, what kind of a results we get. All right, we find that there are 2,881 articles about public employee retention. If we look over here to the left, almost 1,000 of them, 956, are peer-reviewed journals. 2,868, almost every one of these articles is available to be viewed online, and then 13 are available in the library. So let's just take the first one up, and it says revisiting the impact of participative decision making on public employee retention. So for those of you that were talking in class, or we've talked, or you've sent me emails, and you're looking at this issue of retention, sometimes people, employees, line level typically, don't feel as though they get to participate. They have no voice, that things just come down from the top. Okay, here's an article that was written in 2012, and it's the American Review of Public Administration, so it is a peer-reviewed journal, and it's going to talk about the impact of participative decision making. So really, if you're talking about retention and decision making, this might be of great value. Here's Health Management Equal Protection Clause, a roadmap for the retention of same-sex public employee benefits. Practical Human Resources Management for Public Managers, a case study approach. So what I'm trying to show you just in this broad review, this is what we found. Now you can also come up here and change your revision, your dates that this was published. I would suggest that we not go back very far. 5 years is actually a pretty long time in the world of academic research because trends and everything else change. So let's set the bar for 2010 to 2015. We're going to refine that search and see what comes up. And so we've reduced the number of articles by half. Now that doesn't mean you may not want to go back and look at historical things, but you probably want current research. Now, let's go up here and change our public employee retention to police officer retention. Oops, I have an extra space, and let's see what we get for that. Predicting police officer retention, comparing personnel data and administrators' perceptions. So you can look at this article and you can see what the details are, and it says police departments consider a multitude of variables when choosing which applicants to hire. Previous literature focuses on education, work experience. Do you get the idea of how the things that you might be interested in, they're there? Here's critical issues in police training a little further down. All right, emotional intelligence, job satisfaction, well-being and engagement. It looks like an English article because of the way they've spelled organizational. Doesn't necessarily mean that. It could just be an English researcher. Okay, so we've tried those. Let's try probation officer. Probation officer retention, experimental study of interventions for the acquisition and retention of motivational interviewing skills among probation officers. That's a particular interviewing technique. But I think you get the idea of how you can find all the things you want. And then, of course, you can go to the advanced box and continue to refine your search. Okay, let me make sure we did the checklist. All right. I hope this helps you and gives you some ideas of how to use the library. It's really very simple. Once you get the hang of it, it's just far better than Google and Chrome and Yahoo and all of that, because it's pre-screening for what you wanted. Keep the cards and letters coming. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you.